Pavilion moments ago. Cal Associate Head Coach Tracy Webster talks in the Cal locker room about how they're going to defend Lauri Markkanen.
Number 10, high in that shoe, high hand. All right, high hand on closeout, shot fake, want to go left. Okay, shot fake, want to go left, contest, then block out. All right, if someone else is on them, guys, you got to block out. All right, block out with toughness. For some reason you get caught on them, you got to block out with toughness.
Let's take this person. Let's go.
So California takes on Arizona, who's won 5 straight. Number 18, Arizona, comes in at 11-2. And the last time the Wildcats were here, here's what happened.
California and Arizona squaring off in a Pac-12 matchup at a sold-out Haas Pavilion. Matthews, wild shot, but it goes. Cal by 1. York with 2. Gets the shot off, no. And that's it. Cal knocks off Arizona. What a scene. What a crowd. What a game.
A lot of great finishes in this rivalry between number 18 Arizona and California, along with former UCLA captain Sean Farnham. Roxy Bernstein with you. Welcome to Berkeley, and a big one for you as both teams open up Pac-12 play tonight. Two of the most skilled big men in college basketball on display tonight. Let's start, Sean, with Lauri Markkanen for the Wildcats.
Markkanen's been sensational all season long, and when you look at his skill set, so unique, and it comes with his background, coming from Finland, 7 feet tall, and he's a type of player, because of his experience at FIBA, there's been a little bit of a transition to understand how he can get better here in the United States. And in this college game, talking to Sean Miller, he said his experience of working with the Team USA in the FIBA rules has helped in this transition. But the skill set is clear. He can shoot from the outside. He's strong underneath. Ivan Rabb, the sophomore forward, could have gone to the NBA. Instead has come back and really needs to bounce back and start asserting himself for the California Golden Bears. Only 4 shot attempts the last time he came out, only 1 in the first half against Virginia. He needs to be a player that demands the basketball. Coach Martin is begging him right now to shoot the ball. Said if he shoots it 25 times, I'd be thrilled. But right now he loves the pass more than the shot, and that's hurting Cal.
Cal wins the opening tip, and for Arizona, no news still. Alonzo Trier not available to play. He is on the bench in street clothes for Arizona, but Parker Jackson Cartwright returns. He'll play off the bench tonight for the Wildcats as Charlie Moore starts the scoring.
One player you don't have to question whether or not he wants to get shots up. Charlie Moore is really good at attacking. Earlier this year, he's had 38 points against UC Irvine, but I think he's at his best coming off that ball screen in flow.
Lauri Markkanen missing a 3, and the rebound, Jabari Bird and the Bears.
You're looking at 2 teams that consistently have one of the better defensive groups in this conference. Coach Martin has done a nice job defensively for Cal, one of the best in the country. I think Sean Miller's staple has been their toughness.
Sam Singer missing on the drive, and it's cleared by Dusan Ristic and the Wildcats. Kobe Simmons stumbles into the lane, can't get it to go. Raleigh Hawkins on the offensive glass, and it's loose, out of bounds. Last touch by Cal. It stays with the Wildcats. Sean Miller is looking for his 200th win tonight as the Arizona head coach. Also 5 years at Xavier for Sean Miller, who's done a masterful job in the desert with this Arizona program, and a foul before the inbound against Cal.
Yeah,
Jabari Bird.
Jabari Bird with the hold, but what Sean Miller's been able to do, and the rise of Arizona has gotten back at the level in which it was when I was playing in this conference, and the heydays of Lute Olson and the 97 national championship team. The consistency, the Pac-12 is always good when Arizona and UCLA in particular are at the top of the conference. And I think what you've seen now is you've seen Oregon move on up. Coach Martin and the success that he had last season for Cal, trying to replicate that this year. Doesn't have that signature win in the non-conference. They've got to try to find a way to improve their tournament resume by getting wins and protecting their home court. They had a 27-game home win streak that got ended at the hands of the Cavaliers.
Sam Singer with the bucket. Cal scored the first 4. And a quick timeout by the Arizona Wildcats as the Bears are energized here at the start. A 30-second timeout for the Cats. So good start for California on their home floor and trying to start a new winning streak after you were here, Sean, when they had their 27-game home court winning streak snapped by Virginia.
Well, the key is being aggressive and trying to get inside. And Sam Singer is one of those guys that when he starts driving downhill and is assertive early, it usually bodes well for him at both ends of the floor. We'll see if that carries true in this contest tonight.
A lob for Kadeem Allen. And it's taken off the rim by Ivan Rabb.
There should have been a foul on Moore. They grabbed Allen's jersey as he was coming over the top.
Jabari Bird in the lane, can't get the roll, and Kadeem Allen pushes for Arizona. Cal ball.
Well, that time, Allen just never had his feet underneath him. It's like if you're on skis and you're leaning out and you're above your toes, you're going to fall. And that's exactly what happened right there.
Believe me, I got size 13s. I trip all the time.
Especially considering the fact that you're 5'10".
Here's Rabb from the corner. And it rattles out, and the rebound falls to Kobe Simmons, and Arizona controls.
I like the idea, though. What Ivan Rabb's been dealing with is a lot of double teams. So you use him in a pick-and-pop situation where he gets to the short corner.
Kingsley Okoro the block. Singer attacks, and a charge offensive foul on Sam Singer.
Well, Arizona right now, I think, is so in tune with trying to score in transition. They understand in the half court is where Cal wants them to play, and Cal's a very good half court defensive team. Because of that, I think they're pressing more than they need to. They need to just settle down. Don't be afraid to work the clock and show some composure and execute.
Is that why Sean Miller took that quick timeout?
I think it was. His team right now just is not playing with the composure that we're accustomed to seeing out of the Wildcats.
Dusan Ristic on the baseline and a nice floater to get Arizona on the board.
And just consistent improvement. Had a great game against Texas A&M when he scored 18 points and tied his career best 8 made field goals in that game.
Illegal screen, it's on Ivan Rabb of Cal, and the Bears' third team foul.
I think you've got to have patience when you catch the ball down low on the block, and Ristic does a nice job. Look at they isolate, no double team comes, Singer's kind of caught in the middle of nowhere, and a nice just turn over the left-hand shoulder, able to finish and extend out with the right.
Arizona's won 6 of their 7 Pac-12 openers under Sean Miller. While Cal's won their last 3 conference openers. Ristic fading away, and he gets the roll. A tough shot by the 7-footer.
The last 2 possessions, though, better composure for Arizona and a purpose at the offensive end of the floor.
Charlie Moore fires. And Arizona, good box out. Kadeem Allen clears for the Wildcats.
Well, rebounding a big point of emphasis when talking to Sean Miller today at shoot-around. Boxing out, finishing the defensive possession.
And both teams are good rebounding teams. Allen, the runner. And it's cleared by Okoro and Cal. Kingsley Okoro throws it away, and Cal with a giveaway. We're tied at 4 at Haas Pavilion as both Arizona and Cal opening Pac-12 play tonight.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance.
Of a team that doesn't post up at all, the Golden State Warriors. Bob Myers here watching the game tonight. 4-4 start. Last 4 points have come from Dusan Ristic. The first one he turned over his shoulder and went with the hook right away. This is a nice post. Survey the defense, pass it out as they pinch in, and then repost to establish your position. Now, fadeaway jump shot, that's fine, but it was the work that he did and the composure and patience that he had to allow that shot to develop and space for him to score.
You used to post up Bob Myers in practice, didn't you?
No, Bob was a senior. I was a freshman. I weighed 175. Bob weighed about 235.
Lowry Markkinen through the lane.
Little known fact about Bob Myers. They struggled against Oregon State, and Jim Herrick subs the entire starting 5 out. Bob Myers goes for 24 against the Oregon State Beavers, his career high at UCLA.
First lead for Arizona.
You weren't impressed by that,
I was impressed.
You didn't say a thing. Thanks, Roxy. Appreciate it.
Charlie Moore. I'm impressed by that, too.
I'm impressed with this young freshman out of Chicago as Parker Jackson Cartwright is on the floor for the Arizona Wildcats, and that's great to see as well. The Cats need to get healthy, and they need a full roster. He's a big part of that. Came back very quickly from that ankle injury that he suffered on the 30th.
I'm so used to tuning out Bill Walton that I just try to move on. Here's Charlie Moore for Cal. Grant Mullins checked in, the graduate transfer from Columbia. And also in the game for the Bears, Roger Mute Abidi is the senior from Cameroon. Keanu Pinder in for the Wildcats. Chance Comanche, also Parker Jackson Cartwright, his return after missing the last 6 games with a high ankle sprain in his right ankle. Moore throws it up, and it goes. He has 7.
I think this young man, as the season progresses, is going to have more and more of these 20, 30-point type games for this Cal roster that I think is challenged offensively.
Ivan Rabb clears.
Look, if Ivan Rabb doesn't want to score, that's fine. Let him play out of the double team and pass.
Ivan Rabb left it short. Out of bounds, last touch by Rabb, Arizona ball.
Well, Charlie Moore, though, the last couple times down the floor prior to this possession, Rabb gets double teamed, dribbles out of it, little shot fake, clear space, step in three-pointer, and then, again, shot clock winding down. This is where he is at his best, when he is attacking north-south, creating a little space and a little bit of a gap. And Coach Martin said, look, some guys, how does he compete at this level? He's so little. And Coach Martin said he's been little his entire life. So you just learn to play, and certainly coming from Chicago and the background of great guards and great players that he went against, that just bodes well for the transition into the college game.
And Chicago has treated Cal kindly, as the top 2 scorers in Cal history are both from Chicago, and Jerome Randall, who's the all-time leading scorer point guard, like Charlie Moore, and then Sean Lampley is sitting off to your right.
Well, you think about it, when I talk about north-south, he's able to absorb contact and finish. In the game that he had 38 against Irvine, he went 15 of 17 from the free throw line. There are teams that don't shoot 17 free throws in a game.
Shot clock at 10. Rabb moves in. He was looking for a call. Here comes Arizona and Jackson Cartwright. Kobe Simmons from deep. Rattles out a 3, and Stephen Domingo, the Georgetown transfer, clears for Cal.
Well, that's what Cal wants Arizona to do. They want them settling for 3-point shots.
And a foul on the drive as Domingo was gathering.
Well, Parker Jackson Cartwright, I spoke with him earlier today, and I asked him how that ankle was feeling. On a scale of 1 to 10, where was his pain threshold? And he said it was at about a 4 going through shoot-around. Sean Miller told us ideally they'd like to see him play around 20 minutes and use him as a 20-minute guy until he gets back to 100%.
Looking at him at shoot-around, you couldn't tell which ankle. We knew it's his right, but you couldn't tell as he was moving around very well.
Well, and what he provides is leadership and a real distributing point guard and wanting to come back and just simply run the team. And for him to get a couple of minutes right there underneath his belt and figure things out, I think is a good sign for Arizona.
Grant Mullins missing a 3. Kadeem Allen the rebound for Arizona. Raleigh Alkins pulls up way off. Kingsley Okoro the rebound, and a foul is called. And it's the right call as Eric Curry called the push-up on Kingsley Okoro. The games we've been waiting for, the college football playoff semifinals coming up tomorrow on ESPN. First, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl at 3 Eastern, Washington against Alabama. And then at 7, Ohio State Clemson, the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Both games are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
I think the key for Washington is avoid those 3rd and longs. That's where Jake Browning, as the quarterback, as great as the year he's had, and only 1 touchdown shy of the Pac-12 record. That doesn't matter because Cal's up by 3 right now in Arizona.
Golden Gate, Cal out to a 9-6 lead on Arizona. And speaking of New Year's, I think you've got some resolutions for us.
Yeah, have some resolutions for college basketball as a whole. I think it's time you want to reunite with an old friend. I think that's what Kentucky's going to do in their drive for 9. They want to end the season in Glendale, Arizona as national champions. And then you think of other things. You want to reach your full potential. And for Gonzaga this year, as it's been in the past, their full potential is a Final Four appearance. I think this is the year they finally get it done. And then for Grayson Allen, he's just going to stop tripping. It's not going to happen anymore. He's going to learn from it now that he's been disciplined. I don't think we're going to have any more problems with Grayson Allen moving forward as far as tripping players out on the court. I think he's going to learn, he's going to mature from this, and I think it's going to benefit Duke in ACC play.
Well, Sean Miller might have a New Year's resolution, and that involves, hopefully, for the Wildcats, getting Alonzo Trier back at some point, who's now missed the first 14 games.
And it's been one of those things where you talk to Sean Miller, and I feel almost bad going up and asking him because we know the answer before we even ask the question is, what's the update on Alonzo Trier? And it's like, well, it's coming soon, hopefully. We'll come to a conclusion soon. And it's one of those things, well, of course it's getting closer because each day it passes, you're getting closer to a resolution. But if and when he becomes part of this team again, and you saw it the other night, Oregon beating UCLA, I think is good for Oregon to get back its swagger and that preseason expectations that they could be a potential Final Four team. If Alonzo Trier comes back for Arizona, I think Arizona is very much so in the same likeness. They are a team that could make a Final Four run. And then when you look at the Pac-12 overall, you add UCLA to it. 3 teams have a chance to end up in Glendale, Arizona. This conference is going to be a lot of fun to watch all season long.
Kobe Simmons missing, and the rebound. Markkanen keeps it alive. Simmons again, swatted by Kingsley Okoro. Cal with a 3-on-1. Jabari Bird finishes.
What a finish.
10 straight for Cal.
Coach Martin said take it personal, and they have. They have been so good at the defensive end of the floor, protecting their basket in the early stages of this game, creating offensive run-out opportunities.
Lauri Markkanen from the corner. And the rebound, Kingsley Okoro.
Oh, the back cut was there. Ivan Rabb missed him.
Ivan Rabb's first points of the night.
See, again, they utilized him in a little pick and pop situation. Markkanen stayed attached. Rabb had space, able to elevate in the mid-range.
12 straight for California. Raleigh Alkins stumbles out of bounds. It belongs to the Golden Bears.
Life on the road in conference play can be difficult. Defense leading to offense, though. Protection at the rim. Cal does an excellent job with that. And then the throw ahead, and watch this by Bird. I mean, he took off too early. The pass was a little bit low, but still able to finish up over the top. And that kind of energy, when you're playing with the energy Cal's playing with right now at the defensive end of the floor, it bleeds into your offense. Right now, Arizona's kind of flat. They're lacking some of that emotion, that passion.
Kingsley Okoro off the feet of Ivan Rabb, and Sean Miller wants timeout.
Yeah, you need a timeout if you're Arizona. Defensive rotations are slow, and California's getting in the paint and scoring points.
14 straight for California. The Wildcats have been scoreless for over 5 minutes, and Sean Miller wants his full timeout here to get his Wildcats to regroup.
They go that last possession. As the ball gets entered in, here comes the hard double team. Look at the awareness of where his fellow big is. Big on big passing. Nobody rotates over in the help side. Step slow, it's an easy 2. So if you're going to bring the double team against Ivan Rabb, then you better have your defensive rotation pinch all the way in. Textbook rules, if you're 2 passes away, slide on over, protect the basket. Arizona didn't do it. Cal was able to exploit it.
Is that what Virginia, Sean, did a really good job with, is that double team against Rabb? Cal seemed to struggle with that all night.
They struggled. He only had 1 shot attempt in the entire first half. 4 in the game, as I mentioned off the top. And the difference was the pack line defense that Virginia plays, their principles and built-in help is so consistent. That's what makes them elite in college basketball, is their ability to defend. And for Arizona, they were a step slow. And if you're a step slow when you bring that big-on-big double, you're usually going to get hurt. 10 points already in the paint out of the 18 that Cal has scored.
Well, Conzo Martin is battling a nasty flu. He was really ill at shoot-around, had to leave shoot-around early. Got here late for the game to try to get as much rest as possible, but the way his team is playing might help him feel a little bit better. And there's a foul first before the shot attempt, and it's the second on Kingsley Okoro of the Golden Bears.
Well, Dusan Ristic has been the best offensive weapon for Arizona in this game.
So Conzo Martin having to go deep into his bench, a little thin up front, as Cole Welly, a walk-on, a junior from Aptos, comes in for the Bears as they're without Cameron Rooks.
Now they're thinking Cameron Rooks, though, could potentially come back at some point in time in that LA trip next week.
Dusan Ristic, it rattles out, and the rebound, Bird for the Bears. Arizona's missed their last 9 shots. Bird had it stripped, and a foul. It's on Parker Jackson Cartwright. Arizona really having a tough time the first 10-plus minutes. There is Cameron Rooks, the son of the late Sean Rooks, who was an Arizona All-American. And he's battled some injuries throughout his career, and he'd be a big boost for Conzo Martin and Cal to get him back next weekend.
Well, and what it does is it changes your rotation. So if Ivan Rabb is struggling and not shooting the ball and is struggling a little bit offensively, you can sit him down and allow somebody else to get minutes and then play off with a little bit of a different style of setting more screens out top and allowing your guards to get downhill. So it just changes the way that they play a little bit, but it also gives coach the opportunity when a player is struggling to coach him up a little bit more on the bench.
And this is a matchup because of Ristic and Markkanen plus Comanche off the bench, where it really hurts Cal not having both Rooks and Okoro. Now you have just Okoro. Lauri Markkanen to the basket finally ends the drought for the Wildcats. They had missed their last 9.
Yeah, and a good job not settling for the perimeter shot. And Markkanen, I think, is so skilled, has great footwork, but very good and fluid with the ball in his hands.
Ivan Rabb from the outside, and Markkanen the rebound for Arizona.
And Markkanen can go either way. You know, bring an on-ball screen, he'll reject it, he'll go left, he'll hit a little bit of a mid-range jump shot.
And one for Lauri Markkanen, a beautiful pass from Parker Jackson Cartwright.
Well, and that's what PJC can do for Arizona. Just a good feel and understanding of his teammates. And when the ball is in his hands and you can slip the screen, watch Markkanen come in, he sets it and immediately just rolls right to the basket. And it's slow defensive rotation that time for Cal. And a beautiful pass right over the top, and late recovery defensively leads to the foul.
Foul on Cole Welly.
Which reminds me, by the way, Arizona's playing right now 34. Miles Simon, his jersey was retired this year. Up in the rafters. Miles tweeted out yesterday about his father, Walt, who is really ill right now. And he's asked for prayers, and I know the Arizona faithful will do that. But we send our very best to you, Miles, and your family right now, and our thoughts and prayers are with your father.
A good friend and colleague. We're all thinking of the Simon family right now and praying for Walt's recovery. Is a rebound by Raleigh Alkins, and Walt himself was a terrific player at the University of Utah.
Oh, great pass again.
Raleigh Alkins lays it in.
You know, look, you can try to slice it up any way you want, but when you've got a point guard that can make plays, it opens up everything. And point guard is the most important position out on the floor. And to see Parker Jackson Cartwright back out there for Arizona, you understand what they've kind of missed while he's been out. And he's still obviously not at 100%, but just the last two possessions, the confidence, the poise that he's playing with.
Charlie Moore from way out there, it rattles out. And Dusan Ristic clears. Arizona scored 7 straight after a 15-0 Cal run. And Ristic makes it 9 in a row for the Wildcats.
It's been a game of runs so far, and Arizona's on one right now. You watch the last minute and a half, and there's no way you think that this is a team that had missed its previous 9 shots before this 9-0 run. But Cal has been good early here at home. Defense leading to offense. A 14-0 run that got going with that alley-oop. And then Ivan Rabb with the pick and pop. Cal being aggressive and assertive. They've got a 4-point lead. Arizona on a run right now, a 9-0 run to be exact, and a lot of that has just been the point guard play. And Parker Jackson Cartwright, Arizona Wildcat fans, excited that he's back on the court, and with good reason. You just see his vision, his feel for the game. This pass, absolutely beautiful. Small window of opportunity. Gather yourself, play with composure, play with confidence, and when you have a point guard that distributes the ball and wants to make others around them better, it's amazing how much more beautiful the offense becomes.
And Arizona attacking the basket, Sean. 12 of their 15 points have come in the paint.
They've done a really good job of being aggressive on turnovers as well. 3 turnovers by Cal have led to 6 points for Arizona.
Inside 10 to shoot. Stephen Domingo from deep. And he's made just one of his last 18 three-point attempts. Chance Comanche in the offensive glass has it stripped. 2-on-1. Jabari Bird finishes.
The second time that they have connected. We talk about one-hand grabs all the time. You probably see a couple in the college football playoffs tomorrow. There's a little Odell Beckham here. Catch with one, take the foul, and finish over the top by Jabari Bird. Nice job.
The second foul on Parker Jackson Cartwright. As PJC has to go to the bench. Bird already 4 of 5 at the line.
Coming out of high school, Jabari Bird was thought of as maybe being a one-and-done kind of guy. He was ranked 19th by ESPN.com and Recruiting Nation, and he's been injured almost every single season that he's been at Cal.
Lowry Markkanen missing everything, and Sam Singer clears. And Bird, who had to miss 6 games earlier this season with a back injury that plagued him at the end of last year.
He's been such an important cog, though, to what they want to do. So far in this game, he hasn't lived from beyond the arc, but the last couple of games, 4 made three-pointers per contest.
Ivan Rabb the follow off the Domingo miss. Cal is led by as many as 13 already. Kadeem Allen way off on the 3. But Raleigh Alkins is there for Arizona. Still 10 to shoot. Rabb from the baseline hits the side of the backboard.
Yeah, he didn't have his feet underneath him.
Kobe Simmons!
He had his feet underneath him, though. Just for a brief second, and that's all he needed.
I was worried about his head hitting the rim.
Explosive. Transition looks going to be at a premium tonight for Arizona. Excellent job out in transition, exploding and getting to the rim.
Illegal screen. It's on Charlie Moore of California. And his first foul.
And essentially, that's a turnover right there, but the previous possession was a turnover as well. I mean, Ivan Rabb's shot was so bad, it hit the side of the backboard. Essentially a turnover, easy run out. And a nice job by Simmons getting into the rim for Arizona, and it's defense creating offense. And a good job delivering the pass and just the explosion up into the iron. See if that creates some energy now for Arizona to be able to sustain their run. Look at that, the elevation, beautiful.
Such a talented freshman from Atlanta, McDonald's All-American. Started now the last 7 games and took over that starting spot when Parker Jackson Cartwright had to leave the lineup. Keanu Pinder.
He's just not finishing around the basket. I mean, that should be an easy 2. But they're anticipating the shot blockers. They're not finishing. They're rushing their release a little bit.
And Sam Singer lost the ball, picked up by Grant Mullins for Cal. Timeout, Roger Mute-Abedius with 10 on the shot clock before he was tied up by Kobe Simmons. What's your feeling on, especially now with losing a timeout, Sean, players diving for a loose ball to keep the possession?
I think diving for a loose ball is great, but I think you know what we need to do?
Take a break?
We need to take a break.
Okay.
You know, because I can only deal so much.
I'll tee you up again when we come back.
Yeah, we can talk about that when we get back, but I'll talk about this as long as you want to. You can keep showing me that one.
12 plus some big games coming up on Saturday as Andy Katz and Seth Greenberg in studio. A beautiful eve to New Year's Eve here in the Bay Area.
Well, Ivan Rabb needed to be more assertive, and that was the message time and time and time again since the Virginia game, and he's done an excellent job asserting himself in this contest. Remember, 4 shots in the entire game against Virginia. He has 7 attempts so far. He has 6 rebounds to go with 4 points, and a team high. He has 3 of the 5 assists for Cal in the game. He is making his impact felt. It's the only offensive rebound they got. Some good toughness, able to finish up over the top there. Ivan Rabb playing the way that Cal needs him to play in order for them to be successful.
Cal leads it by 7 as Arizona shooting just 28% from the floor.
Well, you look at Cal and what they've done defensively in the first half in particular over the last couple of games. They've been as tough as any defense in the country.
Ivan Rabb, another rebound. Charlie Moore launches. Loose ball. Lowry Markkanen used his foot to control it. And a kick is called against Markkanen.
A good call. But again, Ivan Rabb was all over the place. Got the first offensive rebound, actually deflected the ball once again. This, not allowed. Not allowed. You can't do it. He played for FIBA, not FIFA. So there's a difference between those two.
But if he did play for FIFA, for Finland in FIFA, that would be allowed.
Yes, and boy, was he sensational in the U20 European Championships, averaging close to 25 points and 9 rebounds per game. He is, you know, we always want to make comparisons of players, and I said this when I did the Texas A&M game, the same thing. He has some Dirk tendencies to his game. I think too often we want to compare guys like last year Ben Simmons. We're comparing to Magic Johnson, LeBron James. Well, it's kind of setting the bar a little high. Okay, and very likely they're not going to meet that expectation. But you can look at his game and see the way his feel, his perimeter shooting. There are aspects that kind of remind you of Dirk.
Ivan Rabb, little off balance, still got it to go, and it's a 9-point lead for the Golden Bears.
Right now, Ivan Rabb is reminding people why they thought he was going to go to the NBA last year.
Kadeem Allen open for 3. First points for the senior.
The last 5 games, he's been red hot from the outside, 50% from beyond the arc.
Roger Mute-Abedius missing a 3 from the corner. Out of bounds, it belongs to Cal. Kick off New Year's Eve with football at 11 a.m. Eastern. The Tax Slayer Bowl in Jacksonville between Georgia Tech and Kentucky on ESPN. Then on ABC, the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl from Orlando as LSU takes on the Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson and number 13 Louisville. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
No Leonard Fournette in that game. I have no problem, by the way, with guys sitting out. I really don't. Coaches leave teams, and then you have interim coaches coaching bowl games, but yet we expect to play because they want to go get paid and they want a better job, right? Yet we criticize players that want to do the same thing, essentially. Like they've got a bigger job and a bigger opportunity ahead, and they're playing in a bowl game that, quite frankly, means absolutely nothing. I have no problem.
Foul the drive against Arizona.
What about you?
I'm with you. I don't have a problem with Fournette, Christian McCaffrey sitting out. I guarantee if they had been in the college football playoff, they would have been playing.
Right. And one of the
see,
Alabama players said that this week. They said, well, you ever thought about sitting out? I was like, no, I'm playing for a national championship. There's a difference. It's no different than Ben Simmons not wanting to play last year with LSU in the NIT. If that option was going to be available, he didn't want to get hurt in a tournament that didn't quite mean as much.
I think Keller Chris, Stanford's quarterback, got hurt in that game today.
Look, if you want more guys to play and not sit out some of these bowl games, there's a simple solution to it. You extend out the playoff. As much as I think the four is great, but if you wanted to make it to 8 and take up some of these other bowl games, which would take away opportunities for some teams that are just above 500 or at 500 from playing in some of these bowls, then that would be the byproduct of it.
Too many bowl games?
I see too many bowl games with teams that really didn't have success. They had limited or marginal success over the course of the season. Hey, 6-6 team going against a 7-6 team. Boy, that's exciting.
And they even had some sub-500 teams in bowl games to fill slots.
So that's why I think if you want to extend out the playoffs, then that's one way to make sure more guys don't sit out of these bowl games and they continue to play for their team because they're playing for something.
Here's Rabb squaring up. 10-point game.
Just a completely different player.
Dusan Ristich stepping out.
Kind of exact same play we just saw from Cal. Big man, set a screen, pop out, vacate his spot as the drive and the penetration goes baseline, flattening out the defense. An opportunity to step back and get a clean look.
He leads Arizona with the 8 points. Kobe Simmons knocks it away from Charlie Moore. And Arizona controls. Here comes Simmons. Feeds Chance Comanche, who keeps it in bounds to Kobe Simmons.
And good balance by Chance Comanche to bring that ball down because that was not a good pass. And for Arizona trying to steal a little bit of momentum going here to the break. Cal has done so many things right in the first half. Defensively and then offensively getting an Ivan Rabb that is a much better version than what we saw against Virginia.
He just appears to be so much more aggressive, Sean, looking for things tonight, where against Virginia when you were here, he was passive.
I asked Coach, I said, Coach, what do you got to do? What's your key offensively for the game? He goes, Ivan Rabb. He goes, how he plays is how our team will go. If he wants to assert himself and become a scorer, a facilitator, and a guy that makes his impact felt on the game, then we will be very good.
Jabari Bird goes high off the window as Dusan Ristich came over, and Bird had to get it over the 7-footer.
And a good screen along the baseline by Ivan Rabb. So even when the ball's not in his hands, he's making his presence felt. There were moments in that Virginia game where I didn't even know he was on the floor for long stretches. That has not been the case in the first half of this game against Arizona.
And he played 38 minutes in the game. Nice feed from Raleigh Alkins, and Dusan Ristich now with 10.
A very good first half for Dusan Ristich.
Cal can play for the last shot of the half. They've led primarily throughout this first half. Roger Muteabedius missing a three, but the weak side, Bird can't get the follow. And Arizona grabs a rebound, and Cal has a 6-point lead at the half.
The stars that we were focused on at the start of the game, Ivan Rabb, you see how he has contributed across the board. Markkanen really hasn't got a lot going outside of the 3 made field goals that he has. Needs to be more assertive as far as rebounding, and I think he needs to get a higher quality of shot that he hasn't seen outside of this one.
Cal leads number 18 Arizona coming up. It'll be the Land Rover halftime report. Land Rover halftime report is Cal up 6 on Arizona. Number 18 Wildcats and the Golden Bears in their conference opener here tonight, 32-26 California. With the lead, a look at the eastern span of the Bay Bridge here in the Bay Area. And 2 Bay Area natives for you. Former UCLA captain Sean Farnham, Roxy Bernstein with you. 32-26 Sean. Cal leads at the half. You talked about the big men, Rabb and Markkanen at the start of the night, and both are having big impacts on this game.
It was an intriguing matchup because they were also going to be going against each other at the offense and defensive end of the floor, matched up at both ends. And what we saw in the first half, I think, shows you a little bit of the skill set. Markkanen, so good in the screening situation. This is an on-ball screen, frees him up, gives a little bit of space. Then he also works well as the screener, shaping up, rolling to the basket, good hands, able to finish. I think he's been at his best. I think you're going to start seeing him more screen options in the second half. Ivan Rabb playing out of the double team. If you bring it, you've got to make them pay, and he was able to do that. 3 assists in the first half, and then just assertiveness overall. Cal needs him to be assertive and aggressive. He's on the offensive glass. 2 of the 4 offensive rebounds came to him, able to finish that one. Good first half. Similar as far as points go. The differential comes, though, when you look at the rebounding numbers between the two. 7 rebounds in the first half, only 2 for Markkanen, who's averaging almost just over 7 per contest on the season so far this year.
Dusan Ristic leads Arizona with 10, Markkanen to 7 points. And then Cal led by 11 from Jabari Bird, including 5 of 6 at the line, and 8.7 rebounds for Ivan Rabb. And last year these 2 teams played twice, Sean. Both games came down to the wire, and we could be headed in that direction tonight.
Well, and I think you've got that feeling in mainly because of the defense. And you look at what Cal's been able to do. They've held their last 4 opponents to 26 points or less in the first half. Their field goal percentage defense on the year is under 37%. Arizona shot just over 36% in the first half. Adjustments, though, is what Sean Miller has made a living on. He makes great adjustments at halftime, starts finding ways to free up players and give better looks.
And a foul in the post. It's on Ivan Rabb, his second. We're pushing the back on Markkanen. The interesting number for me in the first half, Arizona shot only 1 free throw the entire first half. You don't see that from a Sean Miller team.
Coach Martin, when he spoke with us, said they have to keep them off the free throw line. And they did an outstanding job in the first half doing that. Now, whoever's going to start making shots from the outside is probably going to win this game. The teams combined 2 of 17 in the first half from beyond the arc. That's 12%. That's not good.
Foul on Dusan Ristic of Arizona, and 3-pointers. Gabe York hit a couple of huge threes late in that game in Tucson last year.
Well, as your broadcast partner pointed out, percentages. So the other night when you were working with Bill Walton, so 12% combined between the 2 teams. That means 88% of the time they've missed.
As opposed to 87% makes and 13 misses. Is Ivan Rabb with the bucket, and he has 10.
When he plays like this, he can take over a game, and that's what he's done so far. And for Cal, they need him to be this on a consistent basis.
I thought you were going to break out the Conference of Champions tie-dye tonight.
They were sold out after the other night's appearance up in Oregon.
Dusan Ristic, the tip.
Well, Dusan Ristic has been the strongest and most physical player for Arizona.
And Jabari Bird missing. Arizona and Raleigh Alkins saves it from going out of bounds. Kadeem Allen to the basket.
Everybody went in on the offensive rebound. They were all attacking the offensive glass. So when that ball got poked away and then corralled in for Arizona, there was an opportunity to find the open floor. Kadeem Allen, an excellent job.
The 3rd foul on Ivan Rabb.
important thing is to remain aggressive for Ivan Rapp. And he'll go to the bench, and I think as a player as talented as Ivan Rapp, fine, you can talk to him briefly here, but you put him right back in. 3 fouls in the second half. It's not that big of a deal. The fans will get all upset, and we'll go, oh, it's the 3rd foul. Yeah, but you get 5. He's already gone a whole entire first half. I mean, he's got time.
And he had 1 at halftime. He's got 2 quick fouls here in the first 2 minutes of the second half.
So you talk to him, you calm him back down, and then you get him back in the game. That's a foul. That's easy. Singer is just laying all over Markkanen underneath.
Second foul on Singer, and again, Cal is a little thin up front without Cameron Rooks available tonight for Konzo Martin.
This is a very small lineup out on the floor, and one that Markkanen should have a clear advantage at.
Kobe Simmons pulls Arizona within 2.
Now see what happens if you lay back and you don't defend the screen, which is what Cal didn't do there. Then you create a space or a gap for a quicker player to attack a big and find the open area and elevate over the top.
Jabari Bird down the lane from Kingsley Okoro.
And that's an example of just not defending Jabari Bird. 2 good examples of really good offense. He just really, both teams executing very well in the last 2 possessions, getting what they want.
Pretty move on the baseline by Kobe Simmons.
You need to get Ivan Rapp back in this game for Cal. I mean, just everything defensively starts changing when he goes to the bench because of their limited size, their limited toughness. Here, you don't defend the screen and you hang back, and now you're standing flat-footed. And Simmons able to elevate up over the top. That was 2 possessions ago.
Charlie Moore missing after weaving through the Wildcats. And a foul on Raleigh Hawkins as Sam Singer was driving.
So we showed you 2 possessions ago. This was the last possession. Now you reject the screen. You kind of freeze up. And Singer just can't stay with him. The help side rotation slow coming over. And a nice layup. And Kobe Simmons aggressive and attacking and trying to get downhill.
Cal led by as many as 13 in the first half. Kingsley Okoro squares up. And Lauri Markkanen clears, and Arizona now has a chance to tie or take the lead on a 3.
That's a travel. That should have been a travel.
Kobe Simmons gets to the basket, and we're tied. First tie since it was 4-4.
Different level of aggressiveness out of Simmons coming out of the break.
And he has 6 already in the second half. Charlie Moore leans in. Lauri Markkanen clears, and Arizona a chance for the lead. Out of bounds. Cal ball. Eric Curry corrects his call, gives it back to Arizona.
Now Kobe Simmons in the second half has done a much better job. And you talk about free throws. Well, only 1 attempted in the first half for Arizona. You look at Simmons over the last couple of games, he's shot 27 free throws. A lot of it because he's aggressive and attacks and gets inside. And when he does that, Arizona becomes a much better scoring offense. Kobe Simmons, the freshman guard out of Atlanta, Georgia, extremely talented, ranked 20th in the country on ESPN's Top 100, a McDonald's All-American, and he's playing like it here in the early stages of the second half. Much more assertive and aggressive, attacking the paint, and that is what Arizona needed to have happen, and he has 6 of the 10 points for the Wildcats so far here in the second half. All 10 of their points, though, have come in the paint, and when you think about freshman guards and you think about the Pac-12, Kobe Simmons is one of them. Lonzo Ball's gotten a lot of attention. Markelle Fultz, obviously, from Washington, could be a potential #1 pick in the NBA draft, but Peyton Pritchard had himself a game the other night.
He was terrific. He was terrific against UCLA. Hit a huge 3 late that helped Oregon. Kobe Simmons gives Arizona their first lead since it was 6-4. Ivan Rabb still on the bench for Conzo Martin. Picked up his 3rd foul here early in the second half.
That's just over dribble penetration, nowhere to go. Poor play.
Kadeem Allen to the basket. Simmons missing the follow, but a foul called will put Simmons on the line. And Simmons has scored Arizona's last 8 points.
But just look at the difference. I mean, the aggressiveness that we've seen out of Arizona. That could have been a foul, too. I mean, there's a lot of contact on that drive. Simmons could have been at the free throw line that time, but he earns the trip to the free throw line right now based on his aggressiveness of getting on the glass. 2016 comes to a close. You know how good of a year it was for the Pac-12? They won 13 national titles in the 2016 calendar year. 8 in the spring last year, 5 in the fall so far this year. Couple that with the Rio Olympics, 55 total medals, 12 different sports, 5 different countries. If the Pac-12 was its own country, it would have been 5th overall in the medal count. That's a good run for the Conference of Champions.
And you're giving Bill Walton a run for his money for being the official spokesperson for the Conference of Champions.
It's a good run right now for Arizona, 8-0.
Sam Singer. And the rebound, Lowry Markkanen.
And boy, would they like to end the drought of national champions.
And a travel on Markkanen, an unforced turnover by the Wildcats.
Well, and they'd like to win a national championship in basketball. Here's a look at some of those titles won in 2016. It's been a great fall when you look at cross country, water polo, volleyball, men's soccer, women's soccer. USC, their 2nd national championship. And a nice performance when they beat West Virginia.
And the Washington Huskies in the college football playoff.
But they need one in basketball. It's been since 1997 as a conference. Of course, that title was won by Arizona. The Bruins had won one just 2 years before in 1995. They've had some opportunities. UCLA went to 3 straight Final Fours, not able to close the deal. This could be the year.
Do you think the top 3 in the Pac-12 are legitimate Final Four candidates?
No question. Now look at the performance for Oregon tonight. They just absolutely dismantled USC. They knocked off 2 teams that were undefeated.
Lowry Markkanen is fouled by Grant Mullins.
So now that you got Dylan Brooks back in the fold, all right, Oregon is rounding in and playing better. I think the guys they lost a year ago were kind of the heartbeat of that team. Now they've kind of figured some things out. There's only 4 teams remaining that are undefeated in college basketball. Villanova and Creighton play against each other tomorrow. USC just took their first loss tonight, as I mentioned, at Oregon, where they won 84-61. But Oregon's rounding back into that preseason promise, and it's hard sometimes, Roxy, to be the team that has the expectations to make a Final Four. When you haven't played with it before and you don't understand the bullseye being on your chest every single night. Oregon has had to deal with that. And that loss, by the way, at Baylor that everybody freaked out about without Dylan Brooks, hey, this just in. Baylor's really, really good. They went into Oklahoma today and absolutely throttled the Sooners. Now, the Sooners weren't at 100%, but you look at Baylor's resume, you can make a legitimate argument that they have the best resume in college basketball so far this year.
And Oregon did not have Dylan Brooks in that game in Waco. Jabari Bird fouled on the drive. In the Pac-12 tonight, so following up that huge win over UCLA, the Ducks roll past USC, handing the Trojans their first loss. UCLA in a tough one in Corvallis with Wayne Tinkle's Oregon State Beavers. And how about Arizona State over on the farm tonight?
Not a lot of defense in that game, 98-93. You like offense, you're going to love the Pac-12 on most nights. We just have 2 of the best defensive teams of the conference on the floor right now in front of us.
Pac-12 after dark, where anything can happen. And an offensive foul on Charlie Moore. His second.
I think the one thing that stood out on those scores, and you mentioned UCLA, Oregon State, 46-43. Markkanen slides over. Bang, bang call. I got no problem with it. Outside. He was moving a little bit. I think that should have been a block. But 46-43 right now in Corvallis. UCLA's got to defend. They have to take better pride in getting stops. They did in the second half of that game against Oregon. That's why they came back and won. but you can't allow an opponent to score 54 points on their home floor and expect to win on the road.
Kingsley Okoro. Wave off the shot, a foul first. The games we've been waiting for, the college football playoff semifinals tomorrow on ESPN or later today if you're on the East Coast with us. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl at 3 Eastern, Washington and Alabama. And then number 3 Ohio State, number 2 Clemson, the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Now, one of the big keys in that one is you've got to value the ball as Ivan Rabb comes right in and knocks it down immediately in that mid-range, and you start to see him talking a little bit. His head's bobbing. He's got a double-double. This is the kind of performance that you need to see, and especially when you've lost the lead. He's back out on the floor with those 3 fouls.
Only 6 points for Cal in the second half. Chance Comanche walked. Lowry Markkanen on the bench after picking up his 3rd foul.
Let's see. Markkanen goes to the bench. Ivan Rabb comes back in. Step back, elevates over the top. Great touch. Remember, Arizona went on their run when Rabb went to the bench. Now it's maybe Cal's time with Markkanen on the bench to make their run.
Grant Mullins gets the roll, a little spin on it. Some English from the grad transfer from Columbia. His first points tonight. Chance Comanche misses at the rim. He wanted a foul. Shot clock inside 10. Charlie Moore to Rabb, and with the left hand, he gives Cal the lead. Rawle Alkins silences the crowd.
This is good. I mean, this is fun to sit here. You and I've got great seats, but what we've seen in the last couple possessions, Cal being very patient but very aggressive. Another example of it right there. Bring the double team, the big flashes to the middle, and you find success. But for Cal, they're taking a page out of Arizona. Kobe Simmons was getting to the iron and things were going well. Now it's Cal turning that same page. It's Rabb, a little late shot clock, good execution off the dribble handoff. It's a 1-point game. In the lead, some good execution late in the shot clock. It starts with Charlie Moore. He's going to aggressively attack this area. What that does is it forces Chance Comanche to make a decision. So as Kobe Simmons stands up and gets blown by, now you have a small window right here. Good vision by Moore. The defense overcommits. Uncontested, wide open shot with 1 second left to go on the shot clock. Beautiful job by Moore. Great job relocating, having his hands ready for Ivan Rabb.
How about using the left hand, as Rabb's a right-handed player, but he used the left hand to flip it up and in there.
Well, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 13 shot attempts on the game. And, you know, we keep reiterating it, but it was reiterated 1,000 times over again since the Virginia game. They needed an aggressive Ivan Rabb to have a chance. And they've put themselves in a situation to have a chance.
Kingsley Okoro 1 out of 2, and we're tied. You know, Rabb has to be sick and tired of hearing that, because that's probably all he's heard since the Virginia game.
Well then, I mean, look, if a coach told you to shoot, would you have any problem shooting the ball?
You know I wouldn't have a problem with that.
There's not too many guys. I mean, if a coach goes, hey, shoot the ball 25 times a game, that's what I want. I mean, go out and get it done.
Chance Comanche going at Rabb, and his 4th foul and 1 for Chance Comanche.
what a big-time play by Chance Comanche. Twofold. One, to be able to complete it and have the opportunity for the three-point play, but more importantly, the third foul wasn't a big deal. The fourth foul is a big deal. And what happened there, his arm was in on the side underneath him, and then as it extended up, he wasn't vertical. That cylinder from floor all the way to ceiling, and now he's going to have to sit down.
And those are the first bench points tonight for Arizona, and Rab has to leave with 4 fouls and inside 10.5 minutes to go. What a huge play that just was for Arizona, and a huge swing. Kingsley Okoro, good ball movement from Cal.
I would just go to that action, set the on-ball screen and roll, try to get the ball on the block, go big on big passing, because Arizona's help side defense has been a step slow all night.
The hesitation by Kadeem Allen.
Jabari Bird has been really quiet here in the second half. Cal needs to get some, especially with Ivan Rabb on the bench. You need number 23 in White to start to assert himself.
Parker Jackson Cartwright off the feed, so the big feeds the little.
Did a good job reading the defense by Parker Jackson Cartwright and then not anticipating that Parker Jackson Cartwright was going to go all the way out to the wing. Dusan Ristic, a very good passing big.
Arizona has matched their largest lead.
And you hear the U of A chants inside this building right now. One of the best fan bases in all of college basketball.
Grant Mullins from deep.
First 3 of the second half for either team.
And a 41% three-point shooter pulls Cal within 2. Terrific move by Dusan Ristic.
Every time I watch Dusan Ristic play, I just think of composure. It's the first word that comes to mind. He is so cool and calm when he catches the ball. There's no panic. He never seems rattled, and does a great job burying his defensive player to eat up space and create an angle to score.
Terrific footwork. Deep 2 from Mullins, and Chance Comanche clears. The official stop play as Kadeem Allen is hobbling a bit. And John Higgins motions to Sean Miller as Justin Kukoski, the athletic trainer for Arizona, taking a look at Allen.
Looking at what appears to be his left leg.
This is a tough lineup now offensively for Cal, Sean, that both Bird and Rab are on the bench.
I mean, Charlie Moore is the only guy who can shoot the ball on the floor. I mean, he's the only guy I'd want to have shooting the ball on the floor right now. I know Mullins just hit the 3, but this is an offensively challenged and defensive liability right now. I don't like this lineup at all.
Riley Alkins with a bucket, and Arizona has their largest lead. At what point, if you're Conzo Martin, Sean, do you bring Ivan Rabb back?
I would say probably at 5 minutes before that 4-minute timeout, just to try to get him a minute before you go to break.
Sam Singer can't convert inside, and it's Arizona with the ball.
But to me, you need Jabari Bird out on the floor. I mean, this is not a good offensive lineup at all for Cal. And if you're Arizona, you should be playing with the utmost level of confidence at the offensive end.
Hawkins blocked by Okoro. Mute Abidi gets the rebound and a foul against the Wildcats. 4th on Riley Alkins.
Well, this game has been tight throughout the course of the second half. Reading the defense, trying to find a way to score in the paint. Arizona's done a nice job of that in the second half. We haven't seen many of these, but this was a big one for the Bears.
The Zona Zoo. Wallace takes it all the way and lays it home, and it's an 8-point lead. York for three, and the Wildcats down only 2. York coming off the screen, catch and shoot for 3. There it is! York gives Arizona the lead. He has caught fire here in the second half.
Gave York some huge threes late as Arizona scored the final 11 points to come back and knock off Cal and McHale last March. And Arizona come back after trailing by as many as 13 points in the first half here.
Yeah, plus 12 in the second half, 60% as a team so far shooting in the second half. And you look at the numbers for Simmons and Ristic, 68% field goal percentage to go along with their 28 combined points. The big number for me is 42 points in the paint. That is where Arizona's made the adjustment in the second half. They've continued to attack the interior of Cal's defense, and it's worked extremely well for them.
Kingsley Okoro up and over Dusan Ristic. Lauri Markkanen in the lane.
That should have been an unwon opportunity for Arizona. When you slide underneath them, clearly that was not a charge.
Ivan Rabb is off the bench. Charlie Moore recovers as a blocked out of bounds by Ristic. And Rabb is coming back with his 4 fouls.
This is a minute earlier than I thought he would come back in, and I think the reason why he has to come back into this game is because even with the 4 fouls, he's at least more of a presence underneath. Now, he's got to play with composure and be smart at the defensive end, but remain aggressive at the offensive end of the floor.
Is Conzo Martin also, Sean, worried about maybe this game getting away from Cal right here?
I think with the lineup that he had, there's no doubt the game was going to get away.
Chance Comanche pops it free.
And it still may. I mean, Arizona's playing with a great deal of poise and confidence right now.
Arizona is a +3 since Rabb went to the bench. So it's a 6-point lead now for the Wildcats, which is their largest of the night. The floater by Kobe Simmons, and there's Rabb to clean it up inside. Foul on the drive before the shot attempt. Kickoff New Year's Eve with football at 11 a.m. It's coming up tomorrow morning out west. Later today on the East Coast, the Tax Slayer Bowl in Jacksonville, Georgia Tech and Kentucky on ESPN. Then on ABC, the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl. LSU takes on the Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson at number 13 Louisville. Both games also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. And a 1-1 for Charlie Moore.
There's some football, some great basketball games tomorrow. Duke, Virginia Tech, a really good game inside the ACC. Florida State at Virginia. Virginia looking to capitalize off of 2 road wins, one here at Cal and then at Louisville the other night where they led by as many as 20 in that game.
Markkanen as Rabb fell down and Okoro comes over to block the shot.
I like the level of aggressiveness by Markkanen, but he should have played that one off the glass.
The quick hands from Kadeem Allen.
Time and time again, Kadeem Allen over the course of his career has made plays just like that. The quick hands, athletically putting himself in the right position to regain a possession. And in a game that could come down to a single possession, you need to make plays like this. I mean, just beautiful quick hands, pinched in off of his man. Sean Miller talked about that for a good 15 minutes today at shoot-around. Pinching in, helping on the drive. Don't worry about the shooter. He said, even if it's Ray Allen on the outside. I said, Coach, why Ray Allen? He goes, well, players can assimilate to the fact that Ray Allen is a great shooter, so they understand my point maybe even a little bit more.
And the hustle by Lauri Markkanen to keep it alive. Cal feeling there should have been an over and back call. Awfully close. Lauri Markkanen steps out for 3.
So good.
Too strong from Kingsley Okoro, and Sam Singer is fouled on a putback.
Markkanen makes the hustle play on the offensive rebound, and that should have been over and back. He had not established, Simmons had not established position in the front court, but then just great movement. Spacing out off the screen, hands were down for Rab on the catch, and if your hands are down with Markkanen, a very good perimeter shooter, able to knock down the clean look on the late closeout.
First foul on Simmons is Sam Singer at the line. And a 48% foul shooter on the year hits both, and it's Arizona by 7.
And in pivotal moments, you rely on experience. And the man with the ball in his hands has experience. Parker Jackson Cartwright in his first game back from the ankle injury that he suffered on November 30th.
Markkanen from the corner. And the rebound by Rab.
That was a good look, though, for Arizona. Good poise and patience within their half court. Now for Cal, you play through Rab.
Foul on Markkanen, and that's his 4th foul.
For Arizona, it's been a lot inside the paint. That's where they lived in the second half, but this one from the outside, it was big in a big moment. 7-point lead, Cats. Arizona struggled in the first half, shooting just 36% from the floor. In the second half, they're at 56%, largely because their level of aggressiveness, attacking. Kobe Simmons really set the tone early in the second half, and then it was Chance Comanche finishing it up, but plus 14 in points in the paint, and that is the difference right now in this game. Arizona has been more assertive and more aggressive in the second half, and I'm sure at halftime that was a point of emphasis based on the fact that where you look to see how assertive you are, free throw line attempts, 1 in the first half for Arizona, 6 so far here in the second half.
And Arizona is shooting 56% from the floor in the second half.
Only attempting 2 3-pointers as well, Roxy.
And both of them in the last couple of minutes for Markkanen. One more coming for Rab. So Markkanen with 4 fouls. Raleigh Alkins also 4 fouls for Arizona, while Rab playing with 4 for California. Six-point game. And again, the zone look from Cal. Kobe Simmons has a shot blocked by Rab. Charlie Moore draws a foul. It's the 4th on Parker Jackson Cartwright. And Moore will head to the line.
The defense, though, the block shot in the zone, close out to the perimeter, gets the block, and then Rab was wanting the ball. I mean, he was jumping up and down, begging for the ball, but I think it was a good decision not to give it to him in that instance because the defensive transition was filing back. And if you turn over the ball, you have to value every possession right now if you're Cal. Trailing in this game, manufacturing points with Charlie Moore at the free throw line.
Especially in a game like this, Sean, because it is so low scoring.
And Parker Jackson Cartwright goes to the bench. He's played over 20 minutes now in this game, which is about where Sean Miller wanted him at 20. I think he's at 21. Against this zone, still look to penetrate it off the top. Come up and elevate and set an on-ball screen. There you go.
And one for Raleigh Alkins. Rather, Yes, it is Alkins with the bucket.
And just as I was saying, it is exactly what Arizona did. A lot of times you get passive against the zone. That last possession, all they did was pass it around the perimeter. You elevate up, you set an on-ball screen, and then look to attack. And as you attack, it forces the back line of the zone to have to rotate and make a decision. If you step up and someone's cutting to the hoop, you get an N1 opportunity or a slam dunk. If you don't step up, then it's an easy shot.
And then Cal lost the rebound out of bounds.
They had one of those the other night against Virginia as well, and it was the same two guys, Rab and Bird. Miscommunication. They give the ball and the possession back to Arizona in a pivotal moment. Again, be patient against the zone, elevate up, set a screen. Here's the screen.
Kobe Simmons launches, in and out. Alkins on the offensive glass and a foul.
What a job by Alkins. A very good rebounding guard. Averaging close to 8 per game over the last 6 contests for Arizona, and a big one on the offensive glass.
Tougher to rebound out of his own.
Well, that's what he does so well. He utilizes his athleticism, and when nobody puts a body on you, it makes it a little bit easier to kind of track where the ball is going. That's a free throw he'd like to forget.
He gets one more, even as badly as he missed the first one. 1 of 3 at the line tonight. Seven-point game with 2 minutes to go. Charlie Moore. And Lauri Markkanen clears for Arizona. Forced by the freshman for Cal.
Everything about that possession was forced for Cal.
Dusan Ristic over Kingsley Okoro, and Charlie Moore runs it down for the Bears. Grant Mullins down the lane. Rab underneath. He'll go to the line. If it's Alkins, he's fouled out.
And if that rebound, a career high for Ivan Rab, 15 rebounds on the game to go along with his 15 points. An opportunity to add to that at the free throw line.
Fouls on Dusan Ristic is second. So Rab 1 of 2 at the line. Shooting 2 with 1:14 to go.
And now for Arizona, box out, do not give up the offensive rebound, gain possession, and then have some poise and patience at the opposite end. No need to rush it. The clock is your friend. Wait for Cal to foul you and send you to the free throw line.
If you're Cal, do you start fouling now?
Yes.
1 out of 2.
Think about this. You let 30 seconds come off this clock right now in a 2-possession game.
It makes it difficult on
you. You don't have a lot of window of opportunity. It looks like they're going to play to try to get the stop. And if I'm Arizona, I utilize this entire shot clock. Be very patient. No need to rush anything.
Ristic, the long 2. And that might put it away for Arizona. 16 for Dusan Ristic.
Beautiful execution late in the shot clock.
And Charlie Moore is fouled on a 3. That's not what Sean Miller wanted to see. The second on Kobe Simmons, and Moore will shoot 3.
Yeah, but that last possession, absolutely beautiful. And Dusan Ristic, who has played outstanding from the start of this game all the way through. Great touch, great composure. Feet set underneath him, ready to knock down the shot late in the shot clock.
The games we've been waiting for, the college football playoff semifinals tomorrow on ESPN. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl at 3 Eastern, Washington and Alabama. Then at 7, Ohio State and Clemson, the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Both games are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Who do you like?
It's hard to go against Alabama, isn't it?
No, I mean, fine, take Alabama. Who you got in the other one? Think
Clemson.
about it. Okay, fine. You didn't have to think about it. Healthier Cats, a fuller roster for the Cats equal a dangerous Cats that I think could end up in Glendale, Arizona at the end of this college basketball season. Likewise for UCLA, 14-1. They got the win tonight, 76-63. Second fewest points they've allowed this season. They need to be more consistent at the defensive end of the floor, and then will dress more his style. That's a big thing for New Year's. You want to dress your style and be yourself. Markelle Fultz is that guy.
They want to see him dressed in a uniform in the new year and not in the civvies on the bench.
Well, if he comes back, again, I think there's 3 teams in the Pac-12 that can make it to Glendale, Arizona. Now, are all 3 going to make it? No. But Arizona, with that man right there, is a Final Four quality team. Oregon, as we've seen already this week, knocking off both UCLA and USC at home, doing what they were supposed to do, kind of regaining their swagger. And I think UCLA, even though they took the step back and they lost that game at Oregon, you look at what they've accomplished already this season, their style of play, how many points they want to score. They're going to be a lot of fun to watch, but I also think they're going to be very dangerous throughout. Now for Cal, they haven't made a field goal in the last 6 minutes of this game. You're on your home floor and you don't make a field goal for the final 6 minutes. It's very difficult to win against a quality opponent like Arizona. And for Arizona to start conference play on the road, you get back your point guard. You're hopeful that you're going to get back Alonzo Trier soon. But nevertheless, whether he's coming back or not, what Sean Miller's been able to do with this roster has been very impressive. Changing roles, changing parts, changing minutes. And yet the one thing that doesn't change under Sean Miller at Arizona is winning basketball.
And he's done this for a lot of the non-conference portion with only 7 scholarship players. And tonight, they did get Parker Jackson Cartwright back, played about 20 minutes, and they rallied from a 13-point first-half deficit. Charlie Moore gets inside, and a foul against Keanu Pinder of Arizona.
And for Cal, one of the things, look, Ivan Rabb, huge game for him. The problem was in the second half, Bird really didn't do anything. Just a non-factor in the final 20 minutes. And then Charlie Moore, I love his aggressiveness attacking, but you want to try to finish some of these shots. I mean, he just kind of tries to initiate contact and just throws it towards the basket. I wouldn't even say they're shot attempts.
And this is a team that clearly misses Jordan Matthews, who is a graduate transfer playing for unbeaten Gonzaga right now, was a big part of what Cal did the last 3 years. And when Cal beat Arizona here last year, he went for 28 points and hit 6 3-pointers, and there's another offensive weapon that could have helped stretch the floor.
But by this time of year, you're over a third through your season. You're almost halfway through your year. You can't look back at who's not here. What you got to do is look at what you got and try to improve it. And what Cal's been able to do is they've been consistent at the defensive end of the floor. We saw better effort out of Rabb tonight. For them to be successful, though, they need complementary scorers and better consistency from those surrounding parts.
Out of bounds. It was on the end line in Arizona with a turnover.
And this is where Arizona does struggle still. And with Parker Jackson Cartwright on the floor, I want to see him come back and get the ball. Against Texas A&M, their press absolutely throttled Arizona down the stretch of that game. Now Parker Jackson Cartwright's going to go to the bench. But they've got to be able to catch the ball and against the double team, turn and face their basket instead of throwing negative passes, which means you're throwing it back towards your opponent's basket.
Tough three from Jabari Bird. 4-point game. Bird knocks it free. Cal steals it. Bird. In and out. And Hawkins is fouled with 7.1 to go.
Look, if you're watching videotape on Arizona right now and you see them against the press, you've got to think that you want to try to turn them over, extend out your pressure. A nice job by Bird going to the corner, got his feet set underneath him. That was the make. But back-to-back possessions where Cal pressured with the full court press against Arizona, and they turn it over both times. That's what happens when you have young players, players that are a little bit out of position, not accustomed to getting pressured at this level.
One more for Raleigh Alkins. He has 10. Ristic leads Arizona with 16.
And just one rebound shy of what would be a double-double. A really strong game for Alkins.
More to the basket. And Kadeem Allen the rebound, and that'll do it. And Arizona has come to the Bay Area and knocked off Callan after 27 straight home wins for the Golden Bears. They've lost 2 straight here, and Sean Miller again finds a way to get it done.
Well, I think the adjustments made at halftime, and that's what Sean Miller has done over the course of his career. He rallies his team at half, they make the proper adjustments, and they flourish with it. The adjustment made was being aggressive and scoring in the paint, and Arizona went to work in the second half.
4 Wildcats in double figures led by Dusan Ristic, and Arizona is now 12-2. They've won 6 straight. My partner Sean Farnham, our terrific ESPN crew, Roxy Bernstein saying so long from the Bay Area and Happy New Year. Good night from Berkeley. American Family Insurance Skills Challenge next.